obviously we're a day away from the part of the year that these kids live for and came to OSU for. Practice has been really, really good. I think this team, I think that they're ready to get on one of those streaks that we could talk about for a long time. So I'm excited about them and excited about what they've done and what they've been about since our Broken trip, and we're ready to go.
Okay, what stands out about the energy you're seeing from the team right now?
I don't know if we want to go back to just seeing that name pop up there on the 6. I felt like it gave us some air in our tires. You know what I mean? I think that's probably real. I don't know how much of that's real, but I know it put air in my tires. So I think they kind of go as I go, and I just look at that. These guys, I don't know. You probably have to ask them, but I just feel good about where these guys are.
Now that you've had a few more days to look at the group, anything stand out about the 4 teams here?
They're all good. So they've all earned their way here, just like us. Wichita State won the regular league, fell just a hair short in the tournament. UMBC won their league, their tournament. It's a big deal, so they know how to play and win. They have nothing to lose. I'm sure that's the messaging. And it's true. Nebraska, I haven't seen a whole lot of them yet. I've just been focused on UMBC, but I'll watch some more of them. We played them early on, so it's been a while. But I'll touch up on them here this evening and be prepared for whatever comes our way. But it's a good one, and you got to come to play.
You talked on Sunday about things that you had looked at, whether it's errors or walks or those sorts of things. You hadn't talked to the team yet about that as you kind of tried to diagnose things. But how has that information that you had translated over into what you guys have been doing, what you've seen from the players as they've taken that in?
Yeah, we had a talk on, I think, Tuesday. We talked about that, right? I told you guys that before prep practice. Kind of walked them through all that. I didn't think that telling them that in Broken was the best time. I wanted to wait till we got back to practice here. We talked about a couple other things, and I read them a story from Pat Riley called "The Disease of Me," and it's like 6 danger signs of things to look for. Like I told them, this is not a hey, I'm upset, I think we're not playing as a team. This is like, hey, remember, we're doing a lot of this stuff good, but it's important to continue to these be our focus items, as we're a collective group. So then after that, I talked to him about the errors, the first 42 to the last 13, the walks, and I think I saw some eyebrows go, whoa, I didn't realize, I knew it was bad, but not that, So those are, like I told them, these are all things that we can correct. And so it's kind of been our focus, kind of things we've been talking about. We've been doing a lot of live stuff in practice, trying to keep the pace fast. I love the response. You'd have to ask them, but it feels like they like it. They like that fast-paced pressure, like a game. So I just wanted to give them as much of that as we could to clear their heads and go. But they've answered. It's been really cool. The week has been awesome.
Well, can I ask Kelly and Taylor just what your reaction was to sort of hearing all that and how that's impacted what you guys have been doing in prep for this weekend?
Yeah, I think it just kind of lit like a different fire under us, and like our focus on our work during practice, just really understanding like on the little things and focusing on everything that we do in practice and making it game-like. And then all the live stuff that we've done makes our heart beat and our mind race like it does in a game. So doing that in practice and then helps it carry over into a game.
I think everyone's just back to that mentality of having fun, having our name called, having the 6th seed just kind of lit a fire and brought, some fun back to the game, and where we were playing in the beginning of the year, it sparked that again.
Kenny, you said that you didn't really know anything about UMBC. What have you learned this week since you found out you'd be playing them?
Yeah, just there's not a lot of info on them. Their conference doesn't have a lot of TV games like we're used to. So I've been watching the same thing over and over again, just trying to dissect who they are. They look really tough. They look like they're well coached. I got to talk to their head coach last night. We have a mutual friend, and that person was trying to set us up to talk. So I've invited him over and his staff over to our house this evening. Like I'll invite all the staff over I've done it each year. Some people the first year were like, that's kind of weird. And I'm like, I don't think it's weird at all. I think it's kind of cool. You know what I mean? We're supposed to be competitors, but we're not supposed to be like enemies or anything like that, right? So I think they'll come over. It'll be cool to get to know them more. Maybe I can get some insight on them, some more insight. But they're just tough nose. They put the ball in play. They look like they play pretty good catch. They have a couple arms that have good numbers. Again, I'm just going to go back to it wouldn't matter if we're playing them, Nebraska, or Wichita State. If we are the best version of us, look out.
Kelly, how are you feeling, heading into the postseason here?
I'm excited. It's been rough the past couple weeks, but I think when we were in Broken Bow, we just kind of had a reset, had a break from softball, and it was just nice to get away. So I'm in a good place. I'm ready to get started and ready to have my team play behind me.
You've been part of some really good OSU teams. I mean, where do you feel this team is, heading into, regional play?
The talent's there for sure. I just think if we can collectively play all together, we're going to be unstoppable.
For Kelly and Taylor, you guys, in your own words, just how important has Chance been from not just a strength and conditioning perspective, but just him being the only, softball-only coach for you guys?
It's awesome. Being around him, he brings like a cool energy that I think the girls kind of feed off of. So having him around every day, we're very grateful. He's doing, things outside in practice, to help us too. So it's not just strictly in the weight room where he's coaching us. He coaches us in everyday aspects.
Yeah, I agree with Kelly. I think having somebody that kind of sees us in an area off the field too, but then is there on the field, being able to help us in any way he can, I think is really cool.
I'm wondering, any and all of you, I mean, obviously you're very focused on what's happening right here in front of you, but this tournament has become such a big deal. Obviously all the games on the ESPN networks and the fan bases and just everything. Are you guys able to have a sense of that at all? Just the bigness of what you're a part of, or can you almost not think about any of that because of what has to happen right in front of you?
I personally think we're very aware of how big this has gotten, but I'm thankful that these kids have put us in these positions for a lot of years now, where it's just what we're used to. For us, I don't feel like it's anything new. Our fan base has been really good. They've been showing up for a while, and so I think it is really neat to go home at night when your game's done and be able to watch games and then see your scores go across. That's kind of cool. It may not be as cool as it was the first years when you're like, oh man, we're actually up there, right? But these kids have done this, and they played on the biggest of stages. She's played on the national, worldwide stage. She's been playing the World Series. I mean, these kids aren't like, don't get me wrong, they're excited, but I don't think it's affecting us. But I think we're all hyper aware that we're playing maybe the most popular sport right now, and it's really cool to see. It's just really fun to be a part of, and I think it's a lot of hard work from a lot of people from a lot of years. You've been involved in that for a lot of years, trying to talk it up, and so you've seen it really grow, and it's really neat, and we're appreciative of all that.
For Kelly, for Taylor, I mean, you guys last year you started the Grove and that extra bleacher. I mean, like this place, I mean, you've obviously seen it, but when you think about that, just where the game is and what you get to play in, what sort of goes through your head in that regard?
I think it's just awesome because my first year, that wasn't there. We had the original little 2x4 deck out there, so it's cool to see just the environment and the fans and the town really come together. And support us.
Yeah, I mean, I'm from Stillwater, so when I moved here in 3rd grade, my parents brought me to a game, and it was free, and there were probably like 20 fans. And so I think it's just really cool just over the past 15 years that I've been here to see the growth that we've had, and now we can't even fit everybody here. So I think it's just awesome that we have a community around us that wants to support us.
Taylor, what's that like for you to be able to play another regional in your hometown, essentially, with your family right down the road?
I'm just really grateful that I got the opportunity to be here and do that, and that my family's so close and can come watch me whenever.
Does it ever get lost on you getting to, host a regional, host a super regional, and things like that, bringing that environment here?
I don't think so. I mean, it's just another softball game. That's how we have to put it into perspective, and we just have to play to win like we do every other game.
You instituted having multiple pitchers and not just doing an ace. You've been doing that several years, but how do you feel like having those innings spread over your pitchers? How do you see that influencing what you guys are able to do this weekend?
Yeah, I think it's what we've set up for. If we need to ride Kelly, we'll ride Kelly. If we need to ride Kyra, we'll ride her. The idea is to get them all work, to keep them all sharp, and really, we'll do anything to win the first game. I don't care what it is. We will do anything to win the first game. We have to win the first game. That's the mentality, right? We'll go about it just like that, and then we'll worry about game 2. Then we in our minds, I think that we have a plan. You know what I mean? I don't think. I know that we have a plan. But like I said, we'll jump ship if we have to, and do what we've got to do to win, and then regroup and figure out how to win and how to go about that next game. So I love what we've done. I mean, you'd have to ask Kelly if she likes it as much. I've never even asked her that, so I don't know. But the idea behind it is to keep them all fresh. And to be able to have them in the end to make that run that we've been able to make the last years.
Kelly, you want to slam your hand on the table?
No,
I should have all the innings.
I love it. I think, in the postseason and what we're about to get into is you need everyone. And I think that having them been pitched in those earlier games earlier on is going to give them some experience. So I'm just excited and looking forward to having the other girls pitch too.
You and Morgan got a lion's share of the postseason innings last year. Did you sense being fresher? I mean, did you sort of feel different when you think back about how much you did pitch regional supers and series?
Definitely. Whenever you break up conference, giving a lot of opportunities to other pitchers, it helps, whenever you're facing a team twice or 3 times, it helps just with that matchup aspect part of it.
Any last questions? Kelly, you know the challenges that a freshman pitcher can face coming in here. What has Kyra shown you this year?
Oh, she's fearless. She's awesome. She came in from day one and just went to work, and she wasn't afraid. She doesn't act like a freshman in my eyes. I think she's really matured since the day she got here, and she really just took on that role and responsibility, and she does a great job.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
For more information, you can visit tulsaworld.com.